Good evening, everyone. My name is Brian Heathcott. I am the Director of Enrollment and Marketing here at Memorial and wanted to get started promptly at 7 because I know everyone's time is very valuable and we got a lot of great information to go over tonight. And so I want to thank everybody for being on here for our second session of these Zoom meetings, again, with people with schedules and trying to spoon feed all of this information to new families little by little. Last month we did curriculum and course registration. This month we're doing financial aid. So I mean, instead of giving you all of it at once, we like to, like I said, do this in baby steps, and we think this is always the best way to do this. So again, thank you for being here. I'm going to start us off in prayer. That's how we start everything here at school. So I'm going to just, if you want to join me, just in the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, Amen. This is the prayer for Memorial. This was written by Father Alex, and this is how it goes. God our Father, creator and ruler of the universe, in every age you call men and women to develop and use their gifts for the good of others. With Saint Joseph as our example and patron, help us to do the work you have asked and come to the rewards you have promised. We ask this through our Lord Jesus Christ, your Son, who lives and reigns with you and the Holy Spirit, one God forever and ever. Amen. In the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Amen. So anyway, we want to get going again. Thank you so much. I got two great people on the call with me that's going to help us out tonight, and I will introduce them here soon. But at first, I like to say what I want to do is kind of touch real quick and touch base on what we're going to cover tonight, what those topics are going to include, what that's going to look like. Let's see. Here we go. What those topics include is we're going to go over the types of financial aid. You know, some schools that receive financial aid right now, they might only receive one form, and that might be the Indiana School Choice Voucher. So we're going to go over different types of what more Memorial provides and offers on top of that. So we're going to go over some tuition and fees, what those look like. We're going to go over the application process as far as how to apply for financial aid and what that looks like. Payment options, along with some critical dates and some next steps along this whole process here. As with the course registration meeting, we want this to be an interactive meeting. So let's definitely use that chat log that's featured in the Zoom one of the Zoom features to ask those questions. What we'll do is, instead of waiting until questions at the end, we'll do our best to say, hey, time out while we're on this right now. Let's answer that since it's fresh and we're talking about it maybe on that slide right there. So use that chat log. We'll do our best, like I said, to answer those questions as we get them. Since it's fresh in our mind, we're talking about it right up front here. Okay. So definitely an interactive meeting. You know, feel free to, like I said, use that chat log there. Let's see here. And so, important contacts. So, a couple different people. Not everyone's on the call, but again, we always want to make sure you know some of these people, especially for this financial aid opportunities, and tuition payments and whatnot. Again, that course registration meeting, you met some of our school academic people as far as in the counseling department and whatnot. But some of these people, everything from Christian Mosek, our president, Josh Rising, he's our director of finance and operations. He does a lot with, again, making sure this tuition and financial aid all happen. But then the main people I like to always throw in there is going to be Monica Hammett. She's our business manager. Previously, if you've worked with Memorial before with financial aid, she would head up a lot of that. But we do have a new financial aid counselor, or a coordinator. Her name's Katie Robinson. She's going to be on the call with us tonight. She's going to be our main contact for this, and she's going to she's kind of taking the reins from Monica with Monica's guidance and help, though. And so we're really excited to kind of keep this moving, and we got a great team. And as always, feel free to contact me if I can help in any way possible. So again, some great important contacts here, okay, to always reach out to. One good important thing to note too, all the contacts you see right here, we are not on a school hours, for example. And I say that in the sense of in the summer. In the summer, teachers, school administrators, they'll head home, but we are actually working through the summer. So make sure to get a hold of us over the summer if you have, again, any financial aid questions, any payment questions, tuition fees, things like that. So we will always be available 360 couple days in a year. How about that? Before I hand it over to Monica and Katie, I just want to point out a couple assistance guidelines, a couple different things. I put on their philosophy and kind of how we go about this. You know, it is a very confidential process. You are trusting Memorial with some very confidential information, and we do not take that lightly. Um, for example, I get it. I'm in the enrollment office and everything, and I'm kind of the gatekeeper to get you in the door and to pass you off to maybe the next people. But unless you bring it up to me that, hey, we're interested in financial aid and I can give you the spiel, other than that, I'm going to hand you off to the people that are going to take on that process. And those are the people that, again, that are going to know maybe those personal numbers and everything in those personal situations. There is less than 2 to 3 people that will know your situation over in the business office, based on when you submit it and how you submit it. So again, thank you for trusting us with it. But like I said, it is a very confidential process, and we want to make sure that is really put out there right up front. I always put on there too. Everyone's encouraged to apply. We'll have conversations like, well, what do you think I could get? Here's my family situation. We always say anybody, doesn't matter what your situation is, if you know you're going to get financial aid or if you're not really sure, just apply is all we ask. We just apply just to see what you can get, even if it's little or a lot, you just don't know until you apply. So we really encourage everyone to apply. We're going to get into some of those income levels with the state guidelines, the Indiana School Choice Scholarship, and where again, like I said, that's where a lot of you maybe at our partner schools or any other private schools might be familiar with as far as what's offered through the state and whatnot. But then again, we have the opportunity through donors, through SGO funds to provide Reitz Memorial financial aid. And we'll have some guidelines there. And then again, those are going to be different from the state guidelines. And those are going to review a little bit more as far as that goes, but we'll get into that. My biggest thing too, and I'll tell this to every family I meet is, don't let tuition be a reason not to come here. We work with so many families with so many situations, and we want to be, like I said, we want to be, whether it's your saving grace or whatever that might look like, we want to help you because we do not want tuition to be a reason not to be here. So we will make things work. We always do. Numbers might look like numbers, but but at the same time, if you want to be here, we'll find a way. We always do. So I want to give you that good feeling right there that we'll always make it work and we'll always find a way with you. Okay. So to get started, I'm going to hand off to, like I said, Katie Robinson. She's our financial aid coordinator, along with Monica Hammond, our business manager, and they're going to kind of run with this because those are going to be our main contacts here. And like I said, I will be looking at the chat log and we'll go from there. So Monica and Katie, thank you for being here tonight.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Brian. I'm Monica. This is Katie. As Brian said, we do have 2 types of financial aid. There's the Indiana School Choice Scholarship, and then we'll get more details of that later. And then there's also Reitz Memorial Financial Aid. And depending on the application that you fill out, you can be eligible for both of those. Next one. The Indiana School Choice Scholarship, they increased their income guidelines to 400% of the free and reduced lunch eligibility last year in July, but already affected some people. And we'll have another slide later too, showing what those eligibilities are. The award levels vary by school corporation that you live in. Most of the people around here are in Evansville-Vandenberg School Corporation, and these numbers that are listed here are the current ones for the next school year, for the 24-25 school year. So for EVSC, that would be $6,732.88. And that comes off of your tuition. Warwick, you see it's $62.28, and then Mount Vernon is $66, but we have all the counties. This is the income guidelines, and this is for the 24-25 school year. They've already released these numbers. So like a family of 4 could make $230,880, and you would qualify if you would live in Vandenberg County for that $6,700 choice scholarship. As long as you make under that amount. If you're a penny over, it will not qualify. But as long as it's under that, and that number is based off your adjusted gross income, which I believe is still box 11 on your tax returns. So when you're looking at it to see if you qualify, make sure it's the number and then that adjusted gross income. In the instance of cases of like divorced families, it's based on the number of people that are in your household. So if there was 4 and 2 of the kids are still living with you, then you would be able to claim 3 for your household. So that would be a family of 3 with 109, you could make up $191,068. And Katie and I can work with you on deciding on what you qualify for and any questions you guys have about these. And if you don't have tax returns, which tax returns are the best way to do this, and this does go off of your 2023 tax returns. We can use W-2s, or if you don't file taxes, there's Social Security information and other types of documents that we can have. And the parent,
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
And the other thing, both parents can apply for memorial financial aid, but the parent in divorce situations that the child lives with 50% of the time or more, that is the parent that needs to apply for the school choice scholarship. They're the only ones eligible. And again, talk to Katie or myself or Katie about if your eligibility. Just reach out to us. Yes, Brian.
All I was going to add to that is that this chart right here, this is also found on our website. If you go to reitzmemorial.org and go to the financial aid and tuition section, and we'll have that on the screen later. But in case you need this later, this is on our website, these income guidelines.
Thank you. So again, types of financial aid, Reitz Memorial Financial Aid, that's funded by Memorial alumni, supporters of Catholic education, endowments, that's money that is given to the school. These awards are not based on the state guidelines. These are based on sort of a need-based. So, and then you'll find out like in the FACTS grant and aid application that you have to fill out in order to get Memorial Financial Aid. It does ask a lot of questions, but these questions are needed in order for us to make an assessment on what is needed for financial aid. So it's, yeah, so it's based on financial need, not on income. The other thing that some of the grade schools actually do have scholarships for here. That is something that grade schools would have that information on. And hopefully they'll be talking to some of the 8th graders and how you qualify for all those. Anything else?
I think we're good on that one.
The other thing we have is the free and reduced lunch program, also textbooks. That is a separate application from the school choice scholarship or any of the financial aid scholarships. That is a document that is provided by the Department of Education, but it is not issued until July 1st of 2024. When that is available, we send that out to all registered Memorial families. And you fill out that application, and on the second page of the application, there's a apply for textbook assistance. We do have a textbook fee. If you qualify for free or reduced lunches, that will qualify you for textbooks. Now, the income guidelines for the free and reduced is not the same as the school choice. Those are much lower than what the school choice is. I think we've got that on a website, but those are new every year also, and those are by the state. So if there's any questions with that, fill that out. I mean, it doesn't hurt to fill it out if you think you may qualify. The state will say no or yes. But if you, like I said, if you do qualify, you do get textbook assistance. So that textbook fee would then be waived. Oh, sorry. One other quick thing about the lunch. You don't have to go back, Brian. If you have students at other grade school, at the grade feeder schools, you still need to apply here. The applications don't go from school to school. Tuition and fees. We have 4 different levels of tuition and fees, and the 24-25 fees have been released. They are on the school website, and we have a slide later, so you'll see those. There's a parishioner of an assessed Catholic parish. And as far as the parishioner status, we reach out to all of the parishes before tuition is billed to find out if the parish says that you are an active parishioner. So just because you're registered there doesn't mean that the parish says that you're active. And that information is based on what the parish tells us. It's not it's not something we decide. So if they say, no, this person is not an active parishioner, then we have to change this to a non-parishioner rate. At that point, you contact your parish, discuss it with them. If they say, yes, we have an understanding, then we can change it back. And that can be done in any time, mainly at the beginning of the school year. So the parishioner of an assessed Catholic parish. There's also parishioner of non-assessed Catholic parishes. There's parishes within Evansville area, where you get more outside, that they are not assessed a fee. And then we have the non-parishioner, and the difference between the parishioner, non-assessed, non-parishioner, and the Catholic schools are actually your parishioners of. They are charged for that student to go to school here. That offsets the difference in that cost between a parishioner and a non-parishioner. So those parishes are accountable for sending money back here to help with that. Catholic Kentucky resident. If you belong to a Catholic parish but live in Kentucky, there is a different rate for that. Because you don't, Kentucky students, if you're in Kentucky, you don't qualify for the Indiana school choice. And if you're belonging to a Catholic parish. Other fees, class fees, like there's a PE fee, art fees, there's retreat fees. Typically, these will run you a total of under $100. Textbook fee, that is a $300 fee for every student. That then the memorial supplies all of the physical and e-codes to every student. You do not need to go buy textbooks. So don't be going out trying to find on that memorial textbook site how to get textbooks, because we provide them to you and they're the most up to date. Other expenses, you will need a laptop. Brian, has that information been sent out on requirements and stuff?
We put that back out in December,
Okay.
right before Christmas.
Yeah.
I'll make sure when we send out this video tomorrow, I'll probably include those again. If you go to our website, actually, in the current families, you'll see a technology device, and that flyer should be updated. And again, that's going to have very minimal requirements as far as what that device needs to look like. So there's not you need this specific one. It's keep it within these qualifications and these specs. But that is on our website. But I'll put that in our email tomorrow.
Okay. We do have uniforms. There are some changes going to be happening with that again for next year, but yes, they will be wearing ties half the year and dress shirts again and dress shoes because the kids so love them that we are going to keep those around. But there'll be some other minor modifications. Uniforms we have here, they are available at the business office in Holy Cross Hall. We do have those available year round if you want to come see sizes. More information will be pushed out to you on uniforms, on how to buy them later. We do have a pre-order that will go out in May, so you can get all your shirts. As far as pants, they're khakis, and we do not offer those. If you're coming from a grade school, it's just the khakis that you can wear at your grade school. Next slide. Here's the tuition and fees for next school year. And you'll see where it says assessed Catholic parish, like one student. We did change this up a little bit the way this looks this year. So we put, like, for 2 students, what the cost is per student. So you could kind of see that, there is a discount from 1 student to 2 students to 3. So that is, when you're looking at this, just remember that is each student. And that's the way it will be billed also. You'll see a fee, because like if you have 2 students, the first student will be 85.82, and any fees they have, second student will be 85.82, and any fees they have. And again, these are available on the website now.
Yeah, those have been updated as of this morning on the website. So again, if you can at any point go check those out, and those will be there.
Okay, so how much is this gonna cost me? We have the Smith family, because we're real creative. They have a family of 4. Let's say their income, their adjusted gross income for their 23 tax return was $230,000. They're in Evansville School Corporation district. We got 1 kid, 1 student here, Christopher, and they are a member of assessed parish. So the breakdown for his tuition will look something like this. Tuition was billed at $91.40. That's the assessed parish rate. Class fees of like $100, textbook fee of $300. The Vanderburg choice voucher is automatically $6,732.88. And you got, in this case, they received an additional $300 based on need above what the voucher amount was. So the tuition due for this student would be $2507.12.
That's a good example. All right.
The Indiana School Choice voucher takes down the cost of the tuition by a very good amount. It's a good thing. And now I'm going to let Katie explain the application process.
Okay, so we're going to start off with the application that is in FACTS Grant and Aid. So this is the application you're going to be filling out if you are wanting to apply for both the Indiana School Choice and for Reitz Memorial Financial Aid. So if you are wanting to try and get both of those assistance, then you need to go to FACTS Grant and Aid and fill that out. So this application is available only online. We will not be sending out any paper applications. It's something you have to go online and fill out. So Brian's got the website, our website listed there. When you go to Reitz Memorial, you can find the link that will take you to the FACTS application. There is a $40 fee, application fee to apply for that.
And that fee is not assessed by Memorial. That is a FACTS Grant and Aid fee. That is not something that we collect. That is their fee.
So when you go to our website and click on the link and it takes you to FACTS, this is what your application is going to look like, the first screen. So a couple of important things, the dates that are in red down there, the application is due by May 3rd. So after May 3rd, the FACTS application won't be, it'll be available, but in order to get processed for next school year, you need to have it applied for by May 3rd. So the school choice voucher is August 28th. So you have a little more time to get that one in, but we don't encourage you to wait too long to apply for that. Again, like Monica said, you're going to need your 2023 tax returns to qualify for the voucher. If you are currently at a school that has FACTS, then you should already have a FACTS account, and you'll just sign in. You use the same FACTS account. If you're new to FACTS, then you'll have to create an account, but it's not a difficult process. So, okay. Okay, so once you start the application, this is kind of what all the different things you're going to have to go through and answer. So this is the first page of it. You'll of course choose, Reitz Memorial High School as the school you're applying for. And it has all the other things. It does ask quite a few questions on this application. But kind of like Monica said, it's all questions that we really need in order to make a fair assessment for everybody on what their actual financial need is. So it's all necessary questions. Okay.
That's very good. I think the next slide, we kind of a video that Fax has sent us just to
Okay.
give us a little more interactive look at what this looks like. So I'm going to try to play this and give it a shot here.
Okay.
From the application screen, click Add New School to select the institutions that your students are planning to attend. You can enter a city and state or zip code to see qualifying schools. Any scholarship groups related to that institution will automatically show up on the application. Select the organizations where you want to apply before you continue. As an applicant, you need to start by filling out your personal information. If you have a co-applicant, you'll need to also add their information. Next, you'll enter your student's personal information. As an applicant, you need to provide your financial information, including your income, such as adjusted gross income from your most recent tax return and any non-taxable income received. Next, you'll be asked for your change of income and monthly expenses, such as rent or mortgage, credit card payments, and loans. You'll also need to add your annual expenses, such as vehicle insurance, college, child and elder care expenses. Next, you need to add your financial accounts, such as checking and savings accounts, stocks and bonds, and retirement plan assets. There may be additional questions required depending on the awarding school or organization. Lastly, review all of the information you have entered. You can go back to each section to make changes if needed. The second step of the process includes uploading your supporting documents. Based on your answers, the application summary will provide you a list of your required documents. From there, Fax will notify you if there are additional documents needed. Please plan for up to 2 weeks for Fax to process your documents. The institution providing the scholarship will contact you with the outcome of their decision. Fax associates do not know when final award decisions will be made, but you can check the status of your application at any time by visiting online.faxmgt.com.
And again, Katie and Monica had a great question. Someone on the
Yep.
chat log just again wanted to clarify just one more time that the Fax application that needs to be filled out by everyone, does it need to be filled out by everyone or just those applying for both Indiana School Choice Scholarship and Memorial Financial Aid?
It's somebody who's applying for both.
Gotcha.
Or if you just want Memorial Financial Aid, but it gets you the school choice.
Because there will be a different application we'll be talking about here in a minute that's for the Indiana School Choice only.
Perfect. Thank you. All right. I'm going to go to the next slide here.
Okay, so this one's just kind of talking about just the process, why we're using Fax basically. Fax just kind of, like it says there, streamlines the process a little bit for us. You're able to upload all of your documents that we'll need straight into Fax, whether that be your tax returns, your W-2s, whatever else you need to submit to support your numbers. At any time, you can log into your Fax application. You can check on the status, see where it's at. And also we have, of course, me available here with a computer if anybody feels like they don't understand it or they're having trouble filling it out themselves. You can always come into Holy Cross Hall and we'll sit down and work through it together. Okay, so this is the one that will answer that question a little bit better. So this application is for those that only want to apply for the Indiana School Choice Scholarship, meaning you just would like the voucher, you are not interested in any additional Memorial financial aid. So then you do not have to fill out the FACTS application if you do not want Memorial financial aid. So this one, the link is on Memorial's website as well. It will take you straight to this application. This one's kind of the same deal. It's online only. We're not going to be sending out any copies of it. You can find it on their website. This one does not have an application fee because it's coming straight from us. It's not through fax. Kind of like Monica said, fax is the one charging the $40 fee. So we don't charge that for this one. Let's see. Oh yeah.
Somebody had a question about applying for both FACS scholarships and school choice. The FACS application, as we said, that is for school choice and Memorial financial aid. If you just want to only, because the FACS one does ask a lot of financial information. Some people don't want to provide that much financial information, and they're like, you know what, I don't want Memorial aid. I just want what the state's going to give. So then
Which
that's
would be this application
yes.
that's on your screen right now. But FACS will be all encompassing. So you only have to fill out the one FACS application if you're interested to see if you can get school choice and Memorial financial aid.
Absolutely. Yep. That like exactly. Just to reiterate, that FACS website, that's going to be for both, yes, Reitz Memorial Financial Aid and the Indiana School Choice Voucher through the state. And again, if you go to that website, reitzdememorial.org/tuition-financial aid, financial-aid, if you scroll to the very at the top, it's going to have the tuition that we just released earlier. At the very bottom, you scroll all the way to the bottom, and we have it in 2 bullet points, right? We have the first bullet point, hey, you want to apply for Reitz Memorial Financial Aid and the Indiana School Choice Voucher, click here. The next bullet point, you only want to apply for the Indiana School Choice Scholarship, click here. So we try to make it very, very clean, very open right there, and look at it like that. Someone else had a great question, Monica and Katie. So Kentucky residents, because they live in Kentucky and aren't qualified for the Indiana School Choice only, they don't need to do the FACS. They just need to do the Memorial tuition, and they would go through FACS to do that, correct?
Yeah, so if you're in Kentucky, if you're a Kentucky resident, since you will not qualify for school choice, you will just do the FACS application because that's the only avenue for Memorial financial aid. So yes, if you're interested in Memorial financial aid, you'll have to fill that out through FACS.
Perfect. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. So okay, yep. Where are we at here?
Okay, so the application process. Again, like Gibb said, apply. The reason we say May 3rd, that is not a deadline. You can still apply throughout the year, but in order to have the financial aid included on your June tuition statement, we have to have this by May 3rd. Because if we don't have this information by May 3rd and all the supporting documentation, we cannot guarantee that will be on your June statement. And tuition you have to set up a payment arrangement. Get that next slide by June 5th. So if you don't have the financial aid information to us, it's set up, it's full. You're going to have to make payment arrangements based on that. Now, once we get the financial aid information we need, it will then be added to your FACS account and all your payments would be adjusted. The school choice scholarship, the deadline for that for first semester is August 28th. Like after August 28th, we cannot do a school choice scholarship. That is Indiana State. I guess technically it's until September 1st, but that's on Sunday, and yeah, we're not working on Saturdays and Sundays usually. So that's why we've bumped it back to the 28th. And we don't like to wait until that last date anyway. Plus, we've been in school for a month. So, and you don't want to really have to pay that much tuition if you are going to get financial aid.
So apply early.
Yeah, like this is open now. You can go in and apply. We can get all this going. Parents, if they're separated, divorced, like I said, we said both parents can apply for memorial financial aid. Only one parent can apply for the Indiana school choice. And we can talk through that more with you guys. Yeah, because the Indiana school choice is awarded, well, the parent where the student lives during the majority of the year. If it's a 50-50, you're going to have to pick which parent they live with more. And that's what the state says. They've got to live with somebody more. There's 365 days. That's just what they tell us. It's those DOE rules. And then after everything's been looked at in fax, you receive an email from fax notifying you of financial aid amount and the next steps. You can see what the progress is. The one thing, this is our second year doing this. One things we did learn from last year, you can upload your W-2s, your tax returns. If you see that it says it has an incomplete status, go back in and check your fax and find out what it's saying is incomplete. Because sometimes it can't read the W-2s or the tax returns that were uploaded, depending on picture quality. And so it actually will kick it back out. And again, if you have problems with any of those, contact Katie. I know last year I worked with families that they sent me the tax return. I uploaded it to their application. It worked fine. Next one. Payment options. Okay, we have 4 different ones. You can pay it all in full in July, which is July 5th. We have 2 payments. Like you can pay half in July, half December 5th. Otherwise, we have 10 monthly payments. Memorial's payment plan runs July through April. That is different from a lot of our feeder schools. So that's why we keep saying July 5th payment arrangements have to be set up. But yeah, they go through July through April. That is 10 monthly payments. Otherwise, we also have there are 20 payments. They're semi-monthly, So they'll be twice a month. But again, they're running July through April. And 529s. We've had some questions about 529s. 529 plans can be used to pay for school. Discuss with your plan provider on how to disperse those funds. They cannot send like an ACH, or you cannot set up your payment plan cannot go to a 529 plan. It can go to your bank account, and you can request the funds from your bank account to go to from the 529 to go there. Checks can be sent here, but talk to your 529 plan provider, because we get questions. We're not 529 plan providers. Again, we said financial aid application due May 3rd. That's just so we can get them on your tuition statements. You can apply after May 3rd, but there's no guarantee it's going to be on your tuition statements. June 10th is when we shoot to have the tuition statements out. Those will be sent out by fax also. So if you see any emails coming from fax, please read them. So July 5th, tuition payments is due. The first one is due by July 5th. And that's when you have to have everything. Your tuition payment has to be finalized. The payment agreement required is the finalized tuition payment agreement is also required prior to the first day of school, which is August 4th, 5th. I can't remember what day it is. But the other thing with the July 5th date, the tuition payment agreement has to be in place, and all other documents registering your student for school has to be in place before a student is allowed to participate in fall sports. That includes like any, not try, yeah, any conditioning. If all this stuff is not in place, including your payment arrangement, the student will not be allowed to practice. So just make sure you get these set up. August 30th is the last day, or 28th, to apply for school choice scholarship. And as far as just some general things about the financial aid, call us with any questions. And about payment arrangements, I mean, if we need to do something with payment arrangements, we can always work with things. Just give Katie a call. The best thing to do is always call us about anything financial. Don't go, like Brian said earlier, we're trying to make this, we want to make this affordable. We want to make this work for all of us. So just give us a call and we can work with things. Oh, and the other thing I just remembered, the payment, you can also pick the 5th or the 20th of the month. So if you'd rather have your payment come out at the 5th or the 20th of the month, you can do that. And you'll see all that when you go into fax and set up your payment arrangements.
Yeah.
So, any other questions?
No, that's great, Monica and Katie, you know, and yeah, just to reiterate what you just said at the end there, I mean, it really is we've unfortunately had you know, in the years I've done this, you know, had maybe a family or two just disappear and everything from enrollment and whatnot, but you can then find out later, well, they figured, you know, it was just, they saw black and white what it looked like and everything and wasn't sure how to do it. And we never heard from them. They never talked to us and everything. We understand there's maybe stories out there and financial concerns and, you know, things that you know, might not show up on paper, and so we want to be there to help. We want to make sure, as we said, you know, tuition is not a reason not to not be here. My favorite saying that a priest said that a while back, that he had a failing school and everything, and it was kind of for tuition. He finally said, you know what, I'm cutting all these fees, I'm cutting all this stuff. It's about mission, not tuition. And it was perfect. And that's truly how I feel too about with all this. And so if you want to be here, if you want to be here for the mission, we'll figure it out together. Absolutely. So no, I mean, I want to leave it open for another minute or two for questions. I don't see any questions, but while I'm waiting though, I just want to say a couple things. First of all, I want to just put a plug for our next Zoom meeting. It's going to be on Wednesday, March 13th, at 7 o'clock again. And I believe that's almost 2 weeks from now, actually. So it's going to be a quick turnaround on this next one. That's going to go over the school and athletic registration, and that's through Final Forms. Now, through Final Forms right now, all of you have gotten on there to complete your application for admissions. You've done your admissions registration, your admissions and enrollment, to where we've reviewed that, and by now probably have accepted your student. So again, that's the admissions and enrollment portion of things. Now that you've been admitted, now we're going to register your student. Things like, you know, let's look over and have you sign off on the student parent handbook, and let's for athletic stuff, let's have you fill that out and do the concussion protocol. I mean, just all kinds of stuff, just to, again, we admitted you and done the enrollment part. Now we want to do the registration part, just to get your emergency contacts, just all that good stuff there. So we're going to talk about that how we're going to do that through Final Forms. And that's also a good Zooming just for general athletic stuff. Chad Dockery, our athletic director, is going to be on that Zoom call. On top of him talking through the athletic registration side of things, he wants to just cover, hey, what athletics are available? When are those conditioning? When are those first practice dates? When's moratorium? I mean, all that good stuff. What are facilities? So he's going to be on that call just to go over general athletics, athletic questions and different things there. So again, you know, we really appreciate you guys, like I said, being on the call. The three of us that you see here, along with the some of the pictures up front you saw at the beginning of the presentation. You know, like I said, we work throughout the summer. We're going to be here the whole time. So as you start this process, please reach out. Let us know what we can do to help and whatnot. We're here to help and, like I said, make all this work. So I am not seeing any questions. So again, to be respectful of everyone's time, I'm going to call tonight here, and I really appreciate everyone being on here. Again, reach out if you do have questions, and thank you again for being here, and we'll talk to y'all soon. Have a good night.
Hey, Brian,
Yes.
just want a quick thing.
Yeah.
Holy Cross Hall is where the business office is located.
Yeah.
When you're looking at the school, on this picture, we're to the building to the left with the porch.
Yes.
So we're in a separate building, not in the school. So if like you're
Oh.
coming up anytime during the school year or during the summer, you can park on Benninghoff, come to the front porch. If you see the turquoise chairs, you've hit the right place.
That's it. That's it right there. Yep, absolutely. That's great. Great picture. If you're looking at the school from the Lincoln Avenue, it's a little building to the left. You'll probably, the new families will start hearing that term Holy Cross Hall. Correct. That's the business office and that's the building to the left of the school. So we'll get you there. We'll get you to find it. Awesome. Y'all have a great night. Thank you.